Hey, it's Chris. Today I want to share with you my favorite new iPhone case. I'm sure you can imagine I get a lot of iPhone cases coming through the office, but this one in particular has caught my attention, so I'm going to tell you about it. It's my favorite new minimal, super sleek, almost naked iPhone case in a long time. I've showcased a bunch of super minimal iPhone cases over the years. Sometimes people make fun of those, like that's an iPhone bikini. But I've been very interested in ultra minimal iPhone cases for a really long time. Like 5 or 6 years ago, I had popular videos about really minimal iPhone cases. If I hold this up to the camera, you could probably barely tell that there's even a case on this, right? Well, that's the whole point. That's what I love about it. So I want to go through what it is that I like about it. Hey, just really quickly, if you haven't checked out the Daily Tech newsletter, you got to get over there. It's free. It comes out on Fridays. It'll catch you up super quickly on everything going on in the Apple world, tech world, AI stuff. It's going to help you be successful. There's like a free music playlist you can check out, all kinds of cool stuff, and also some free wallpaper. It's linked up down below. I want to be super transparent. This company has actually advertised sponsored content on the channel before, and I'm not going to mention them because they didn't pay for this. I'll link it up, of course, down below. Now, I'm not going to go out of my way to try to make this sound any better or worse than it actually is, so I'm not like shining off the fingerprints or anything like that. But as minimal as this thing is, and it's super minimal, it still offers some serious protection. You can see in the corners there's some beefed up drop protection here, and it's actually come in handy. Saved this phone a couple of times for me already. But then look how it tapers off. This is the whole thing here. Like, you only have the bare minimum amount of protection, but then the sides of the phone are actually open. So you can actually feel and grip the actual phone. So that's what I really love here. It's like it doesn't disconnect you from the device itself. You can still feel like you're holding an actual iPhone as close to it was meant to be held and used while having a little bit of protection without going just full Apple Care as your case, basically. Now, I have dropped it a couple times, and I'm glad that I had this case and didn't just have to do the Apple Care. This case has some battle scars, and what does that mean? That means I didn't have to mess with getting it fixed. Like, yes, it's cool to do the whole Apple Care thing and not wear a case like a statement these days, but it's still a pain to have to get it fixed, right? Not sure if this angle catches it any better, but regardless, you have the back protection here, you have the bumpers on the sides, that's cool, but then it leaves the sides wide open so you can actually experience the phone and get up close and personal. And part of what I like is just the transparency. So there's been a lot of cases over the years, starting back with the Peel cases for me, and then Totally, I think, came after that and sort of ripped off, and then everybody after that have let you like see through to the color, to the materials, to the finish, which is half of the experience, right? I hate actually putting on a case that obscures your whole iPhone. It's really a huge bummer to get a case and then obscure this really awesome design, isn't it? So just letting the iPhone's design shine through is a big plus for me. That said, clear cases tend to go yellow after a while, and I like that this company's just up front. They're like, you're not gonna have any yellowing issues for at least a year. Honesty, that's a good thing. Now, is it perfect? I think you can see in this angle some of those fingerprints that I was talking about. That's not really a big deal to me. And honestly, they're showing up more here just because it's catching the light than I feel like they will show up in real life. And also at just the right angle, you kind of get like a little bit of that oily, rainbowy look too that I've had in some other clear cases. I think that's just part of the material, right, in the process for this sort of a case. I mean, I'm not even getting it to show up here on any of the camera angles, so that just kind of goes to show it's really not a big deal. That said, MagSafe is a big part of the Apple lineup. I use it all the time. I don't know if you do, and it's not just for like wallets or those sort of accessories. Because I do a lot of shooting with the iPhones, I'm using Moment tripod heads, right? And tripod holders for my iPhone, so I can just click and latch this on at various angles. There's one up here, there's one over there, there's an iPhone straight in front of me, right? So I use MagSafe all the time, so I need that to be not only accessible, but really strong. And I'm not sure I've encountered a stronger MagSafe setup than what I'm getting from this company and these sorts of products here that they put out. Besides this bare look, there's a couple other cool details. Those corners are actually reflective, so you're gonna find these easier at night. I've actually had that come in handy where it's like, you wake up, you're fumbling around for the phone, maybe you don't want to disturb anybody, and there, it's easy to find because you got these reflective corners. Also, a big deal for me is the scratch resistance, because sometimes if you're like me, you end up throwing this in a pocket that already has something in there, whether it's an AirPods case or keys or something, and you do it accidentally and before you realize, and then all of a sudden it's either too late, you scratched up your phone or your case. Like no one likes anything scratched up. Obviously you put a case on so that your phone doesn't get scratched, but then it's not cool either when your case gets all messed up. So that scratch protection is really great also. So they rate this at just about a 4-foot drop, you know, in terms of like survivability. And so far I haven't tested this on purpose, like go around dropping it, but it's come out of my pocket a few times when I sat down. You're wearing the right pants or shorts or something, and it just slides out and boom, hits the concrete or the pavement or something. You're like, oh wow, number one, I hope my phone survived, but number two, actually, then you realize you had this case on, it's gonna be fine no matter what. So just minimal enough and just maximal enough all at the same time, I think is an interesting way that I would put that. And it's kind of funny, here I am, it's almost 2025 and I'm still making videos about an iPhone case, but this is one of those staples. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, iPhones don't change all that much. Yeah, the accessories don't change all that much. Sometimes MagSafe comes along, you know, and that switches it up a little bit. But fundamentally, something to cover up this really expensive purchase of yours, make sure that it survives, stays in good shape. That never goes out of style. So that's why I just want to let you know, do a little follow-up. This is what has been on my iPhone here for quite a while. And really the real reason that I'm making this video is because a lot of people have been asking about it. They're like, what's that case? What's that case? Because it just shows up inevitably, you know, when I'm talking about stuff here on the channel. So here's the case. Again, I'm not going to mention the company, but just so you know, they have sponsored before. This is not sponsored. This case was never, you know, advertised on the channel, but you can check it out down below if you want to. And I think just to follow up, you know, like the bikini iPhone case that everyone laughed at, I did finally get rid of that. It had a few downsides compared to this, like because it was just a piece that fit here and a piece that fit here with nothing in the middle. It was nice to grip, but it kind of like built up a layer of grime and crap sort of like where it dropped off. And I just feel like, I don't know, it's an okay design, it's an interesting design, it's a different design. The main thing was that it was really different. Ultimately, I think this just feels more functional and it offers more protection than the super ultra crazy thin peel cases that don't have this sort of bumper protection. And I think this is, so far, this is like the best mix, I feel like, of everything that you would want in a case if you like minimalism. If you haven't checked out my courses, this is a great time to get in on the pre-order for the AI course. I'll help you unlock all the world of opportunity that's unlocking there. It's not a good strategy just to be like, oh, AI is scary, or I don't get it, or I don't want it to replace my job. Just be prepared in all situations. And if you love AI stuff and you just want to know more about how to capitalize on it and all the possible futures, that's one thing that we're going to go through in the course, is all the different possible futures and what's going to be the same in all of those futures so that you're as prepared as possible among many other things. It'll make it real easy to understand and grasp and take advantage of. So anyways, check that out. It's still at the pre-order price. But also we have a productivity course, freeform course, all kinds of good courses. They're all linked up down below. Check them out. Get in on the newsletter. It's free. We get a free wallpaper out to you every Friday, along with just kind of a quick rundown of everything going on in the Apple world, tech world, AI stuff. So it's a great way to stay informed. I hope you check it out. It's down below.